Hello, 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 everybody. Hey, Robert, can you hear me? Fantastic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Anil Gupta. Ask Me Anything. So excited to have you all here. We'll just wait for the other people. And today will be a very special day because it will be a very special day. So let me just set up some stuff here. If you have any questions, let me know now.
Hi, my name's Sheila.
Hey, Sheila, how are you?
I'm well. It's my first time joining you.
Fantastic. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
My 10-year-old daughter will be an earshot. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you can bring her on board. Happy to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely happy to do that.
I actually have a call booked with you next week, but I got your name through Emily Young.
Yep. I know Emily. She's an amazing soul.
Yeah.
My
and girls and I will be attending Rise Up in a couple of weeks for a very first time for that type of event. So very excited.
Yeah, and my son is going to be leading that. So yeah. He's a great youth coach. Very excited about the difference he's going to make. Where are you calling from?
Me? I'm right here by Celebration. I'm right by you.
Oh, okay. So we're neighbors. Fantastic.
Yeah. Good. And I've expressed to Emily about my relationship with my mother, and she said, "This is the guy you need to talk to."
Absolutely. And that's one of the fundamental things I work on in my coaching practice is the relationship you have with your parents. So absolutely. And we'll make amazing headway in that call. I promise you. You know, I know exactly what to guide you through the whole process. And there is a process, and we will absolutely be doing that. Okay, good. Fantastic. Oh, you can't see me, can you? Oh, sorry about that. So I'm going to start the recording now anyway. So how do we do this?
There he is.
There he is. Record to this computer. How are you? Who was that? Robert, was it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing super good and getting better by the second, brother.
Oh my goodness. What a beautiful way to live. Super good and getting better by the day. Yeah, I love your background there. It's amazing.
By the second, not by the day.
By the second. And the power of that is it's compounded. You know, Einstein said the greatest force on this earth is compounding interest. He was actually wrong. The greatest force on this earth is compounding. So if you compound everything every second, it's far more powerful than once a month, once a year, once a decade. So it's very, very powerful. Thank you for sharing that, Robert, and thank you for all the support you've given us in the past.
I'm happy to. You know, you make a difference in so many people's lives. So I'm happy to introduce. Thankfully, Mike's on the call with us too. But happy to introduce and share your stuff. I got a lot out of just immediate success. You know, immediate happiness. Excuse me. Got a lot out of that.
Yeah, and you know, the book is called Immediate Happiness, and it's not a book. It's a manual on human behavior. So it teaches us how we work and how we function. We were never given one when we were born, and we had to learn it. And obviously, we learn it the hard way because it's a process. And there's miscommunications, misdirections, a lot of distractions. Good. So welcome, Dawn. Welcome, Mike. Welcome, Al. Welcome, Rivan. So I'm here to serve you. We're going to go through some teaching and then some Q&A. But does anyone have a burning question that they'd like to have answered? You know, this isn't Ask Me Anything on relationships, parenting, communication. I want to serve you first. Well, this is a great audience, so no burning questions at all. Okay, good. So
we have burning questions.
Okay, what's your name, honey?
My name is Anna.
Anna, that's a beautiful name. That's a name that you spell backwards and forwards. It's exactly the same. And do you know what that's called? I think, is it a palindrome?
I can't remember.
I believe so.
Yeah. So Dawn is the all-knowing Google soothsayer. So Anna, your name is a palindrome. So repeat after me. My name is a palindrome.
My name is a palindrome.
Yeah. Palindrome. So what's another word that is a palindrome? What's 12 o'clock?
Noon.
Noon. That's a palindrome. Well done. Mom, dad, they're all palindromes. So now you're the smartest person in the class. Okay, Anna, what was the question you'd like to ask?
I didn't have a question, Mommy. I told you I didn't have a question.
We came on to get our question asked. How can we better mind ourselves to be around grandma?
Okay. So, Anna, what is your grandma's name?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you feel about her?
Like, I have to tell her stop a lot because she keeps on doing things that we keep on asking her not to do, but she still does it anyways.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So when I talk to your mother, we'll go through that, okay? Okay, because repeat after me, there's always a way.
There's always a way.
We will find a way.
We will find a way.
Okay, so Anna, I want you to say something to your mum, okay? Okay, I want you to tell her what she means to you.
Everything. I love you so much.
Wow, how beautiful is that? In just a few words, Anna, you can change your mum's life. So Sheila, how does that feel when she said that?
It's amazing.
Isn't it?
The connection I'd like to have with my mom.
Yeah, and we'll get there, I promise you. So what could you say to Anna? What does she mean to you?
Everything.
Your mum's a copycat.
Yes, I am.
Do you have a cat?
I used to.
Her little sister meows a lot.
Really? Well, what's her name?
Bella.
And how old is she?
7. No, 8.
8. And you're 11.
I'm 10. I'm gonna turn 11 in November.
Oh, fantastic. Good. And when's your birthday?
November 19th.
November the 19th. A great day to be born. Okay, fantastic. Great talking to you, Anna. Thank you, Sheila. Does anyone have a question about relationships, parenting, anything at all? You know, we have a relationship with everything. We have a relationship with money, our cars, our computers, our houses, people, things, stuff. So if anyone has a question before I get started, what would you like to ask?
Anil, thanks for doing this.
Hey, Fernando.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, great.
My question is relationship with team members and employees in regards to creating something where it's like long-term, like super long-term. What's an advice you have for creating an environment that attracts people that just want to join the team and stay for a long time?
Great. And what's a super long time?
30 years.
Okay. And why is that important to you?
It's important to me because I feel like 30 years is a good time to spend with someone.
Okay. As a partner, you mean? Or as a business
No,
partner?
as a friend slash I haven't had a business partner or an employee or a team member for that long, and I want to experiment that. I want to experience that long-term relationship with team members.
Okay, so I sense that there's something missing. For you to want that, there's something missing.
Okay, I could give you an answer there that's missing, that I haven't had that. Maybe the longest I had was 11 years with the employee.
Yeah. So you have an attachment, you have an expectation, yeah, and you feel there's something missing. All right. So my best friend is one of my best friends is 50 years of friendship, but I see him very rarely, but he's still a friend. But I don't count the days. Oh, another year, another year, another year. It just happens. Okay. So the secret is this: create an environment that is so attractive for people to come. And if they come, they come. And what if something better for them came up? Would you want to retain them, or would you want to give them the freedom?
Freedom.
Yeah. So then if you're attached to them staying, you may act in a way to keep them there. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense to create the environment that attracts while giving them freedom.
Yeah. And the idea there is to be the best version of you. Now, when I coach people, I coach them with a view that they don't need me, which is the antithesis of most coaches, because most coaches want their clients to be with them all the time. For me, I don't want that. I want to give them everything I know, everything I have, so that they can run with it and create a massively new future. So, you could create inspiring people who work for you and then who go and inspire the world. So what business are you in?
Coaching, executive coaching.
Okay, there you go. So there is that attachment, because it's great to have a client for, say, 30 years. Is it a client, or is it an employee?
I want the experience to be for both, for clients to be and employees. Okay.
And the way to do that is start with a day, a week, a month, a year, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And it's a beingness, not a doingness. It's who are you being? How are you showing up? Are you being the light? If you are the light, people will stay with you. And you are a beautiful soul. I've known you for many years, and you're a beautiful soul. Where are you these days?
Thank you. San Diego.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
How about you, Orlando?
Yeah, we're in Celebration still.
Celebration. Oh,
yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah, fantastic. Good. Thank you for that. So let's look at some of the things that we talked about there. So we talked about some awareness. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? There you go. Let me do that. Excuse me, I am technically challenged. I'm using a different computer today. I am just about to do this, but it won't let me do it. Hold on. Just 1 minute. There we go. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do it. Okay. Do you by any chance see my screen?
No.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. So we're not going to use any screens today. I had to use a different computer, so I will learn next time. So the secret is awareness. We love to be right about being right. we have an attachment to being right. So awareness, attachment, an expectation. He had an expectation of being, wanting someone in his environment to stay with him. So these are rules that we all have in our relationships, in our personal relationships, our business relationships, and in our financial relationships. So it's a common denominator. As human beings, we love to be right, and we love to be right about being right. And we get attached to that so much. So sometimes we'll have a fight with a partner and not really know why we're fighting with that partner, and just for the sake of being right. So thank you, Fernando, for that. Good. Does anyone else have a question? If you have a question, just text my son, AJ. He's my right-hand man here. What would you like to ask?
Could you repeat those three?
Yeah, so one, as human beings, we love to be right. So actually, if you could just type in right, being right.
Yep.
The second one, we have an attachment to something. And the third one is that we have an expectation for something. And they all interlock with each other. So for example, you're running for a bus, you miss the bus, you get upset. Why do you get upset? Because you had an expectation of catching that bus. You're attached to getting that bus. And you want to be right. Okay. Question. I had a friend of 25 years start talking. I thought it would be giving him time. Maybe something bothered him. Then he did something which bothered me. So, with friendships, we shouldn't be attached to a friendship. How do we make friends? Just by acceptance. See, the definition of love is acceptance. When you accept the other person as they are, that's the definition of friendship and love. But what happens in relationships is that we start making rules. And especially with family relationships, we start making so many rules. And that's why we get upset. With family, so many rules. With friends, hardly any rules. Rivan, would you like to just get on the call? And I'll happily answer your question. It's hard for me to read and
yeah,
help.
hi, Dr. Ajay.
Hey.
So I had a friend. We were friends for like last 25 years, 30 years. So something happened. I don't know. He usually something will bother him, and then he will stop talking for a month or so and come back. And this time, the time went by quite a bit. And then we were doing some business together also, and he did something in the business that bothered me. Then we still didn't talk. We wrapped up that business, and that's been 2-3 years, but we still are not able to talk. And I'm also upset at him. I'm assuming he's also upset at me, but I still think about it. So is it, I do send him random text messages here and there to just check on him, but he doesn't respond. Is there something to salvage the relationship?
Well, why do you want to salvage it?
Because we were, like, as the earlier question was asked, we have been friends for 30 years. We have been good and bad times together quite a bit.
Okay. So would you role play with me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I want you to be him and I'll be Rivan. I'll be you, okay?
Sure.
Okay. So, assume his name is Tom.
Sure.
Do you ever speak to each other?
We don't talk to to each other now.
Okay, so I would send him a text, something like this. Hey, Tom, we've been friends for 35 years. And for some reason, we're not friends. I don't know why. I obviously feel I've done something to upset you. I would like to address that if possible. Is there any way that you could be willing to tell me what I did or whatever happened so that I can address it? Because, my friendship with you means a lot. And I really would like to get this addressed. I hope you would have the heart to be able to discuss that with me.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you see, and the other thing, Rivan, we never know what other people are going through.
True.
And it might not be anything to do with you.
Yeah, it could very well be. He might be going through something. He probably expected that I would call him and I didn't call him.
There you go. And we never know what people are going through, but we never know the difference we make to other people's lives. By you just calling him could make the difference that makes a difference. And that's what friendships are. It's accepting the other person as they are and stepping in front of ego and say, you know what, I'm here for you. I love you, I care for you, I respect you, I honor you. How may I serve you?
Sounds good. Let me send the text message and see how it goes. And what happens is, like, I have my own feeling where if there must be something I did to upset at him, but he also did something to upset me. How do I overcome that feeling now? It's like, okay, it's in the past, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so what did he upset you with?
So now if you think about it, it's minor. It's because so we were doing a company together. So we were 10 partners. So 3 of us were the managers, me, him, and another guy. So those 2 guys were local. They made a team. They teamed up, and they somehow kicked me out from the management position without informing me or something. They just told everybody that there will be 2 managers going forward.
Okay. And why are you upset with that?
Because they were supposed to be like, at least if you were friends, he should have at least talked to me and said something, and not just it'd be a surprise to me and kick me out. Okay.
So you're being right. You have an expectation they should have, could have, would have. Yeah. Yeah. And you're attached. Yeah. Let it go, my friend. So, you want to be right or you want to be happy? Choose. You want to be right? Yeah, there you go. You're attached again, and you're attached, and you want to be right about being right. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's long past now. It's time. It doesn't even matter, so I can let go.
Yeah, it's the ego.
Okay.
It's your ego.
Cool. No, I think that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Good. No, thank you for sharing that. One of the things in partnerships that's very important is who you partner up with, not just in an intimate relationship, but a business relationship and a personal relationship. And the golden rule is this, and everyone gets it the wrong way around. In relationships, people say yes to a relationship until it doesn't work. But that's the wrong way to do it. You have to say no to a relationship until it does work. So if you were wanting to say have a relationship with a partner, you would find out everything about them first, everything. Then decide if they're a suitable candidate to be in a relationship. But most people will get into that relationship until they decide it's not working, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And they normally stay longer in that relationship because they're so concerned about hurting the other person. So, for example, if you were to buy a house, you wouldn't just buy it, you do your due diligence. And this is what you have to do in relationships. Do your due diligence. So if, say, you wanted to go into partnership with person A, and it seemed like a good business partnership, but you find out that he's been cheating on his wife and his previous wife, I would never go into partnership with him, because if he's doing that in his personal life, he could do it in business life. So there's an integrity issue there. You want to work with someone who is a loving person, a gentle, kind-hearted person, and you want to work with someone with integrity and someone that's healthy emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally. When you find a partner like that, everything becomes effortless and joyous. It really becomes so much fun.
And we were friends together, and he was all that. We were friends for 25, 30 years before we did the partnership. And sometimes something changed in him, or it changed in me. I don't know. But something changed, and where we stopped talking in 2019 we stopped talking in 2019, and that year he filed for divorce for his wife too, so he got divorced also.
So there's no coincidence there. There's something that's going on we don't know, but why don't you send in the text now?
Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Okay, maybe you get a response in the call. That would be wonderful.
Sounds good. We'll do that. Yeah.
And sometimes there are personal matters that we can't discuss here. So if you want to have a private chat with me, my son's put in chat with Anil to book a private time with me. So
Sounds
does
good.
anyone
Yeah,
have?
Cool.
Okay,
Thank you.
This is for everyone. Does anyone have any other questions they'd like to ask? Anything about relationships, business, personal, friendships, parenting? I know, Mike, you're here as a guest of Robert. Is that right?
True. I just have a comment. The word relationship, RE stands for repeat. So I always just call them relationships, REAL relationships.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Very true, very powerful. Mike,
go ahead.
Where are you calling from?
I'm Bronx, New York.
Okay, fantastic. So how do you know Robert?
Oh, through years of doing things online, and we just connected again. We've always been connected in Messenger and stuff like that, but we connected with something. So just happy to be back doing something with him.
Fantastic, good. Do you have any questions you'd like to ask, or any comments?
I have. It's a relationship with my sister.
Okay.
My both parents have passed away. My dad passed away first in 1970, and my mother in 2015. My sister had ovarian cancer in 2015, and she can't drive and do that. We share the house together, and it's trying at times. So I guess just having that loving heart and everything. I have to drive her everywhere and do stuff, but she does get on my nerves at times. What can I say? I'm honest.
Yeah. Okay. And how old is she?
She's 73. I'm 74. I'm 70.
Okay. Why is it you have to drive her everywhere?
She can't drive. She has neuropathy in her hands and legs from chemo.
Okay. Can she walk?
She can walk.
Okay. Could you get her an Uber?
She's not really good at doing that stuff. So
okay. Could you do it for her?
And Ubers in New York are really much more expensive. It's easier for me to work around my schedule. I also presently suffering from cancer, so I'm around the house.
Okay. So the reason I say that is for you to get some peace. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do occasionally, and it's more like not taking it around isn't a real burden on me. We budget everything as far as shopping and stuff, but it's more of like I don't know, probably her attitude.
Yeah, it's and she can be cranky, and she can be
I call her the commentator. I remember one day she was in the kitchen by the stove. My mother was facing me in the chair, and my mother just looked at me and said, "Don't let it get to you when I die. Let it be like water on a duck's back," with a little smirk on her face. So every time I think of that, I just mellow out,
Yeah, that really is an amazing way to look at it, because it is water off a duck's back. She might be going through some pain. We just don't know, and we can all get ratty. But remember, there's two parts to your sister. There's her, and there's her behavior. So when you look at her, that's your sister, but her behavior may not be the best. I'm never the best behavior at times, and it is what it is. And that's where you have to learn to let go and forgive. Forgiveness, if you write this down, everybody, forgiveness is the express pathway to freedom. AJ, if you're still here, could you write that in the chat? Forgiveness is the express pathway to freedom. The quality of your life is dependent upon the depth and authenticity of the forgiveness you extend to yourself and to others. It's a big thing. In my coaching practice, I 99 out of 100 people have some forgiveness, whether it's forgiving themselves or others. And that brings me on to Joe Soma. Joe, what is your perspective on the importance of self-love? It's everything. So Joe, are you comfortable coming on stage?
Oh, there we are.
Hello.
Okay.
It was actually my question, and I'm Darla.
Oh, hi, Darla. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Okay. So why did you ask that question?
Just wanted to see on how you would elaborate on it. I teach it, and I just wanted to see how others actually really see the importance behind it, or whether or not they feel that it's important.
Okay, so if you teach it, why don't you share your thoughts? Because I would love to hear from you too.
Well, would love to hear your perspective first, and then I can definitely do that. I have no problems.
Okay. So when you love yourself, your capacity to love and be loved increases. Your ability to love others exponentially rises. The vibrational energy that you vibrate at will change. How you show up will change. How you feel about yourself will change. The self-worthiness will change. The way you show up in the world, the way you speak, it's fundamental to everything around self-worth. So I think it's a 99.99 out of 100 to be able to have self-worth and self-love. That's my opinion.
Awesome. So as a coach who actually teaches, I have a 90-day self-love course that I take people through. And what it is building the confidence within them, learning how to actually identify what's going on, as well as helping to assist them in learning how to uproot the systems that have caused them to feel the doubt, the inconsistencies in their life, and how to begin living their authentic self. I absolutely found that the art of learning self-love is what I teach is the key love is the key to all things. If you love, then you won't hate. If you love, you can't hurt. If you love, you're going to build. It's just the foundation that allows people to actually completely rewrite their entire story. And it is so amazing to watch people to go through it. So I just wanted to see what other coaches really think about that, because there was quite a while where I was doing this and people were telling me, oh, you need to change your niche. You need to change your niche. And I said, I can't. I'm sorry. I won't. Because I was watching so many people totally transform and rearrange their life. And I was seeing people literally come from complete devastation and brokenness and being able to actually pull their pieces back together and live even after severe trauma. So love truly is the key. And when you can love yourself, when love begins within, you actually become the magnet that allows love to find you right where you're at.
Yeah, no, totally.
Oh, we lost your audio. Your audio?
We can't hear you, Dad.
There you are.
Anil, you might need to change your mic source.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So anyone else have any questions, queries, anything they'd like clarification on? Yes, no?
Hey, Anil, I've got a question.
Hey, Kyla.
So for
Okay, who's asking the question? Is that Sim or Kyla?
Sim.
Okay, Sim, shoot away.
Okay, so it's question with a relationship with money. So so during COVID, my business was hit quite badly. So so two really large clients went under and was placed the company in debt. So that was one big incident. And then recently, whatever money I have left in the stock dropped by 63%, right? So I think I'm just going through a very stressful, like the COVID incident, plus what happened to my dad brought me into like depression. So I'm still trying to trying to recover. And then with what happened recently with the stocks, I think it's pretty challenging. So I was wanting to get your perspective on how to navigate. To me, it looks like a crisis.
Hello. I'm sorry, something happened to my speaker. Hold on, let me just fix this. Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. You said 63% and then everything faded out.
Yeah, so stocks dropped by 63%. I guess what I'm trying to get to is like, I would love your perspective on how to navigate this challenge. Because I think from COVID that relationship with money hasn't been like really rectified. And then I feel like there's back-to-back challenges this few years, and I'm trying to navigate it through.
Okay. Is your identity around money?
I think it's more of like my identity that I could be a bit smarter, like, yeah.
Okay, so you're beating yourself up. Am I right?
Yeah, because I feel like I could have managed money a bit better.
Okay, good. So do you feel that you need to forgive yourself?
Yes, I like mentally, I understand the concept that I need to forgive myself, but the being part, I haven't found a way of like truly forgive myself. I understand the concept.
Okay, and how is that affecting your health?
It's not good. It's sleepless nights.
Yeah, and how is that impacting your happiness?
It's a lot of anxiety, and I know that this feeling is not going to help. Like I need to be at least like a baseline, like calm to rebuild from here.
Okay, and how is that affecting your energy?
My energy is like, it's a bit erratic. So sometimes I need to drink a lot of sugar. Yeah.
Okay, and what about mental clarity?
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Okay, so there's a lot at stake here, Sim. So what I suggest we do, that there's a deeper process. If you can just contact me, book a time with me, chat with Anil, and we'll talk a little bit about that, because there's some deeper issues. But ostensibly, you know, when you attach your identity to money, I did that in 2008 when I was suicidal, and then I flipped it to changing my identity towards giving. In the moment you give, all the pain and suffering disappears. In the moment you're grateful, all the pain and suffering disappears. In the moment that you are growing, all the pain and suffering disappears. And that's the formula for living a fulfilled life. So write this down. Fulfillment equals G cubed. The first G is you have to give your time, your energy, your love, your commitment, your joy, your gift, your money. Give it away without wanting anything in return. The second G is you have to grow emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally. And the third G is you have to be grateful for what you have. So Sim, out of those three, which is the lowest G?
Give.
Okay, when was the last act of kindness you performed?
Yesterday, I donated to like my friend who is trying to raise funds for Ukraine. But I actually could give more, I feel. But I think I'm in the mental state of like, I need to conserve energy to help myself out of this hole.
Okay. So when you give, it doesn't have to be money.
Yeah.
Okay. It could be your time. You could make a phone call to a friend and say, hey, buddy, how are you? Haven't seen you in ages. Just want to say what you mean to me. You're an amazing friend. I'm sorry I haven't been in touch, but blah, 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 blah. Okay, who's a friend that you haven't spoken to in ages?
I've got a bunch of friends I haven't spoken to ages in New Zealand, yeah.
Okay, so I'd like you to call all of them up.
All of them, okay.
You know, and just you'll feel so much better because magical memories will come flooding back and you'll start to feel differently. Once you start to feel differently, a momentum arises. And what happens is this, it starts with awareness. Awareness gives you clarity. Clarity gives you focus. Focus gives you action. Action gives you results. Results gives you momentum, which gives you everything. So you have to start with awareness. So Sim, if you could do that, book a call with me and let's move this forward because it's not a good place to be. And I've been there, so I know what it's like and I can absolutely help you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anil, when I call them, what do I say? Do I just like literally be organic and say I'm thinking of them and just find out what they are up to?
Okay, so let's role play.
Okay.
I imagine I'm one of those friends of yours, okay? And I call you, hey, Sim, it's Laura from Hamilton.
Hi, Laura, how are you?
Yeah, you know, you're probably wondering why I called you.
Yeah, what's up with you? How's the US?
You know, I was looking at some past memories and I saw the photo of me and you and I thought, oh my God, Sim, I haven't called her in ages. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, where in the world are you?
Hamilton.
Me too.
Oh yeah?
There you go. You know, we
Whereabouts? Okay, thanks, Anil.
Okay, can you see how simple it is?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be heavy. It can be very light, but it has to be authentic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So, you know, these calls are on every week. So if you come back next week and share with us, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay, great. I think, is it Kylie? Did you unmuted yourself? Did you have a question?
Oh, sorry, I did not have a question. I just hopped on the call and I naturally was on unmute.
Okay, no worries, no worries. If anyone has a question, I'm happy to answer it. Yeah, what you give away, you get to keep. Totally, Shapiro, Mike, totally. What you give away, you get to keep. Because there's no attachment there. When you give something, it has to be a gift without wanting anything in return. That's the secret. So remember the formula for fulfillment equals G cubed, give, grow, gratitude. Whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling upset, whenever you're feeling not as happy as you should be, one of those three G's is below the rest. In Sim's case, it was give. And tomorrow it could be gratitude, and the next day it could be grow. So I'm just going to take.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Here, let me get my video on. Hi, sorry, it's like kind of dark in here. So I grew up as an only child, and you know, did not really like read like necessarily like social cues and anything like that. You know, was an entrepreneur since I was really young, so I never really related to a lot of people, and I wasn't really accepted by my peers because they were interested in different things like partying and just like gossiping and things like that. So I've always felt very alone in that way. But I was like, well, you know, if I'm going to be alone, I'm going to like just plow through this life in my, you know, just kind of like not look left, not look right. And so but I've had a lot of like issues with like people and peers, you know what I mean? Like not like in a drama way, but just, you know, kind of not receiving a lot of love from them, especially in high school, not really as an adult, but those experiences really hurt me and has shaped the way I see the world. And so I realize now that relationships and people is where my breakthrough is. And I want to break through, but I've been like so tarnished, you know, from my past experiences. So how, you know, do I cultivate that? Like, how do I basically like break my heart open, you know, like that shell that I've built, that wall, you know, that separated me from like me in the outside world. Like I have a lot of wonderful women and men in my life, you know, but they think like me, you know what I mean? Like they're very forward thinking. How do I not kind of just like, kind of like discount the people around me who aren't at that, you know, growth mindset level, you know, like, and just like appreciate them from, for where they're at in their journey. I know that's probably the answer, but like, how does one actually come to that acceptance and just kind of like, you know, not look up, not look down, just kind of look forward, you know? How do you do that?
Okay, so Kylie, I come straight to the point. Are you being judgmental?
Excuse me?
Are you being
Oh,
judgmental?
absolutely, absolutely. And I think, but for me, I guess it's one of those things where I feel like when I go into any situation, I automatically see like what's wrong with something, but that's helped me a lot in my business. It's helped me a lot in myself as well, in my growth, you know? So, but I don't know how to switch it because I feel like my brain doesn't even work like that. You know, I don't enjoy, like, I don't like look at someone and say, oh, that person's wearing that. That's so hideous. Like, I don't do that. Like I, you know, it's almost like the things that I judge are more like character things. Like, for instance, like if someone's promoting something, like let's say they're promoting like a skincare line about how to tighten your skin, but they have Botox, like things that are more like not authentic and more like integrity issues are the things that I judge harshly, not someone's looks or their life choices, things like that.
So Kylie, what would happen if you could just make an observation? Say, for example, oh, they're using that skincare product, but they're using Botox. That doesn't line up. And move on. But you react.
Move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You react.
Yeah.
And then you bring up something from the past, and then you get righteous. Then you have an expectation. Then you have that attachment. Yeah. So the secret is to be an observer, not react. And you're very reactive.
Yes.
And that conversation with yourself saying, if I get upset in this moment, is it worth it? Why would I get upset? And just be an observer. And it's a muscle that you have to develop. And it gets easier and easier and easier. But there's also something happened in the past. Am I right?
I mean, it doesn't go to a specific event, not necessarily. I mean, in terms of like integrity and stuff.
Like yeah, around integrity, about being right, about belonging, about you know, being righteous, is or being included. There's something from the past that's
I was
this.
absolutely excluded from my peers growing up. You know, because they were just I was so different from them, you know what I mean? And I realized obviously like that we live in a polarized world, but I wanted to connect with them, but I just felt like I didn't know how. I felt, you know, because I generally didn't care about anything that these people cared about, like drugs, alcohol, gossiping, you know, just girls being bitchy. Like, I'm like, this is just like, I'm just, I wanted nothing to do with that. But the problem is if that's their life, then that means I want nothing to do with them, which means that they want nothing to do with me. But it's like, then I like blame myself because I'm like, wait a minute, like, I shouldn't be looking at the world as like, this person's right, this person's wrong. But it's like, I blame myself for looking at people's not flaws, because I don't mind. I mean, obviously everybody has flaws, but more so like the things that don't line up, that don't add up, that aren't authentic, that aren't from a place of ultimate truth, universal truth, integrity. And I'm like, oh no, you know what I mean? And then I feel bad that I can't look at all the good that they're doing because I'm so focused on the thing that doesn't line up. Because in my belief system, I feel like how you do anything is how you do everything. And maybe they're trying their best, but the way I view it is like their best is not good enough because they're still like not coming from a place of authenticity and honesty. And like that, to me, that's like kind of unforgivable, because I'm like, I don't know, because I'm always, and I know I'm too hard on myself, and I'm always, very honest, but like everything I say is, I don't say shit unless it's not true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but the problem is most people don't have that standard. So then I'm like miserable in a world of people who are like lying to themselves, lying to each other. And just like, it's like literally misery to like go and like look at the world through these lenses, because I'm just like, I don't know. If the truth will set you free, why is it prison and putting me in a prison,
Well, the truth will set you free,
Mm-hmm.
but there is a certain amount of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain amount of anger. There's a certain amount of frustration. There's a certain amount of righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever bought a brand new car?
Lease only. I don't like to buy.
Okay. So have you ever leased a brand new car?
Yes.
When you leased it, did you notice other cars similar to yours?
Other cars similar?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you say, oh, that's my car. That's my car. That's my car.
Right.
Yeah. So that's called the reticular activating system.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware.
Our brains will look for things that we want to look for. So when you're looking for lack of integrity, you'll always find it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look for the gold, whenever I'm with someone, I'm listening for the gold. I'm listening for the magical moment. I'm listening for something that they can say that will be so authentic and so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a muscle that you need to develop. And Kylie, this is costing you joy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And if I could recommend, book a call with me. We'll do a little bit of a forensic examination. And once you're released from this, Kylie, it gives you freedom to be, freedom to receive, and joy and fulfillment. It really is worth having that chat with me.
I would love to. Yeah. Cause I mean, I almost feel that I don't know how to view the world through that lens. Cause I think in my brain, I'm thinking like, well, if I don't look for all of the flaws, then what I'm unaware of is going to be the thing that doesn't keep me safe, So it's all that goes to safety, feeling like, because it's like, if I don't see the inconsistency, then I'm going to, basically associate or get involved with someone, a friend, anyone, any situation where I, that could not keep me safe. Like the fact that I'm able to say, oh, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't seem right. Like I feel like if I lose that, because that's what's also helped propel me forward. So like, how do I have that balance? You know what I mean? I don't want to like, I see the link that you sent. Oh, that they sent. I don't want to just be like, oh, everyone's great, everything's great, and then just get freaking like ran over, with the truck,
Yeah. So see, the thing is, Kylie, that will never happen if you have awareness. And I can teach you that process so that you can filter out, but in a loving and clear and smooth and effortless and frictionless way, which will allow you to make decisions without losing your integrity. Some of the languaging that you've used is, unforgivable, your standards, you want to feel safe, you break open my heart. See, they're very strong languages. When you use languaging like that, it's gonna be hurtful to you and to other.
Sure.
And I see there's a beautiful intensity and purity inside of you. If that was able to be manifested in a beautiful way, your vibrational energy will change. And when your vibrational energy changes,
yes,
you don't have to break open the heart. You can just open the heart.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm sensing you don't like to be vulnerable.
I'm vulnerable. I'm very open about like my personal development, all the things that I've been through. I have no problem like just giving all the details away. I'm not, and I guess those are the things that I'm not afraid for people to use against me, because to me that I don't really care about that. I think I think anything that we're willing to tell people, those are the things that we don't mind if that's in the open, you know what I mean? I'm not proud of, you know, feeling this way, you know, like that's why like I go into like that self-deprecating of like blaming myself, like, oh, like this person is like, you know, promoting this product that's supposed to like, you know, have like supposed to tighten your skin, but they have Botox all over, like, you know, they're supposed to be a leader, like, how, you know, it's like, but then I don't want to look at all the good stuff, because I'm thinking like, if a person can go that low, then what else can they do? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
so
I don't know how to balance the two. I don't know how to balance like having like maintaining my discernment and not overlooking that, while also having compassion. You know, I don't know. I don't even know what that looks like, you know?
So there's never a balance, but there's a beautiful equilibrium, and we can discuss that on the call. Thank you, Kylie. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's very helpful.
So, you know, a lot of content there about being right, about being attached, about being, having an expectation. You know, as human beings, we tend to be judgmental. I'm judgmental too, you know. You know, when I go into a supermarket, I see what other people have got in their baskets, and I'm, hey, they got that, and you know, we don't, you know. So, but a little bit judgmental. But the secret is not to hold on to that judgment, and the purest way is to observe and not make a judgment, to observe and not be reactive. So thank you for that, Kylie. That was very kind of you to share that. Anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Ask away, ask away. Parenting, relationships, communication, family, parents, children, spouses, relatives, friends. Any question at all?
I would love to get some reflection, Anil.
Hey, Stephanie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I don't know quite how to phrase it into a question, but
Okay.
I would love to get your insights.
Absolutely.
I am coming from the place of taking full ownership of every aspect of my life. And from that, just trying to learn and understand more about how I feel like in every area of my life outside of long-term relationship, I'm very healthy and accomplished and steady, and yeah, I would never identify myself as someone who has issues with relating with other human beings. You know, I'm a clinician, so I'm, you know, that natural archetype of a connector and a healer, and you know, I've got good relationships with my family, and I'm well aware that in the area of love relationship, that although I feel like I have a very healthy self-esteem, have been single for most of my life, and I'm coming from a place of, I take ownership of that. I don't think anything's wrong with me. It's not, you know, a problem. It's not like I fixate on it, but it's a desire of mine to partner. And from a place of like, everything that shows up in my field is because me. Just trying to understand the nuances and the hidden corners around how it is all me.
Okay. Have you ever been in a long-term relationship?
Yes. You know, when I was younger, you know, I think of my first true love. But you know, the probably the last time I had a serious relationship was certainly over 10 years ago.
Okay.
A while.
Okay. So you've experienced the joy of having a beautiful relationship.
Yes.
Okay. So what if I could, here's another question. Do you like dating?
I love the idea of it. I don't have a lot of experience with it.
Okay.
Which.
So I'm not a big fan of dating. Okay. Because what happens is, I call it the dating facade. Boy meets girl, girl meets boy. Boy will act accordingly to please the girl, and girl will act accordingly to please the boy. They get on well, they get married, and then all of a sudden he stops doing that, she stops doing that. And the real people show up. So Stephanie, the secret is to find someone without dating them, do your due diligence on them, and then decide to date them, and then you have a 95% success rate. And I have a program, it's called the Perfect Partner Program, where I can teach you how to find your perfect partner without dating, where to find him, what to say to him, what to ask him, and test him and test him and test him, so that you do your due diligence and make this effortless and frictionless and with a 95 to 98% success rate, so that you too can lead this beautiful life. The only part that's missing is this beautiful relationship. But I sense that you may be comfortable in certain aspects of your life.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. And then, you know, it's normal. We don't want to lose that freedom, and we don't want to be uncomfortable having to go through the trauma and drama of a relationship. Is that about right?
There's certainly parts of that in me.
Yeah. And, you know, there's some history as well. But I'd certainly love to have a conversation with you and give you some nuggets at a much deeper level, so that you can get a lot more clarity around relationships and the past relationships, because there's a pattern there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you just book a call with me, chatwithanil.com. It's not going to be a sales pitch. We're just going to have a conversation. I'll give you some insights, and we'll go on from there.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a big thing. I have clients who say to me, Anil, I can't find a man. There's no one in New York. They're all married. And the women said, oh, all the women are married, all the men are married. No, it's not. You just need to know where to look for them, how to look for them, what to say to them, what to ask, how to filter them out, how to stress test them, and look for the 3 criteria, which is integrity, loving, and healthy. And if you get those, and there is a 4th one, we'll go deeper in that. So thank you for that. Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, good. So that brings us up to the hour. AJ, could you put the Ajay, could you put the link in for next week? It's the same link as this week. Next, we're going to be speaking at 8 p.m. Eastern next week. If AJ could put that link in, please. But it'll be the same link, and I'll send you all the link. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate you being here. Oh, there's a link. Okay, we'll wait a couple of seconds. If you click that link, it'll be 8 p.m. June the 8th, and we can talk about anything related to relationships, and everything is related to relationships of some sort. So Anil Gupta and my son AJ wish you an amazing week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, Anil.